Hi everyone, welcome to another video from me, and today's video is all about studying a subject that you hate, that you struggle with and that you just do not want to revise. I have had a lot of those subjects in my sixth form, GCSE history. During my A-levels I hated English language, I hated that so much, and at uni I have realised there's a lot of things I don't like, such as philosophy, biology. So after struggling my way through the first semester of uni, I have come to the second semester of uni only to find myself struggling with another subject that I hate and cannot stand, which was logic. And I don't really know how to explain this if you don't know what it is, because I don't know myself still. I hated that lecture so much, it made me cry, and I had a test in this subject. I was so stressed for it, I had no idea how to revise, I didn't want to revise it, and it came to the test. I don't know how it happened, but I passed. I came up with a list of things that have helped me to deal with a subject that I hated, and hopefully these things, you can use some of these tips to help you study for your GCSEs or A-levels. And there are probably a lot of subjects that you hate, that you don't know how to study and that you just don't want to study. So maybe this video will be useful for those upcoming exams. Yay! So I think the first thing that is super important is to make a to-do list. I kind of hate myself for saying that again, but make a list, but not like a to-do list. Yeah, I need to do this, this and that, like not a normal to-do list, more like a list of things you need to cover in this subject. So get the syllabus out, get the list of topics out, or make yourself a list of topics that are in this subject, or specifically if it's just something that you struggle with, make a list of the things that you struggle with, and then colour code it. I made myself a little list, you can see it somewhere here, and I just colour coded. I used the traffic light technique from high school where you colour code it red, orange or green. So red is if you completely do not understand this whatsoever, orange is if you understand some of it but some of it you don't, and green is you just know this. I use this to help me identify the areas that I'm good at. So it makes you feel organised, but it also kind of boosts your confidence up, because you're like, yes, I actually do know these things. Like if you see something ticked off as green, you're like, I know this, I'm not going to fail. It's like a very important starting point, because it shows you what it is that you're struggling with, and you can focus more in those areas, and it also kind of gives you a list of things to study. The next thing is just to approach this with a calm attitude. If you're struggling with understanding a concept, if you approach it stressed and freaking out, no good is going to come from that. Take it step by step. I think this is the best approach to dealing with things, anything in life really, a step-to-step guide. This involves going through all the notes that you've made and reading through them, making sure that every single aspect of those notes you understand. So for me, I understood the different types of, I don't even know what it was because I can't remember now. So yeah, I really didn't get that. So I went through my notes trying to figure out a step-to-step guide how to deal with it. And just when I couldn't find anything in my notes, I went a bit further and looked at online resources, textbooks. This is the third way of dealing with a subject that you hate, is to find every single resource that you can possibly find, so that your notes are up to date, you understand every bit of everything there is in your notes to understand. Looking for different resources is good for people who have different learning styles. If you learn better from watching videos, you can find YouTube videos on, I don't know, solving maths equations. That's what I did in maths, that really helped me. You can find online resources already that other people have made, like posters, mind maps, or I don't know, textbooks, and highlight the textbooks. Just use every resource that you can possibly find and get your hands on, because that way you're allowing yourself to know as much as you can, and usually this can help you if you're struggling to understand a concept. And if you can't find a textbook, then borrow one, or you can just do the next thing, which is on my list. Ask for help. Yay, I hated this technique, I hated this advice, I never ask people for help, but it's so useful. And with logic, I don't talk to a lot of people in my lectures, so I couldn't ask anyone, like there was never a good time to ask someone, hey, can you help me understand this? If you can ask for help, ask your friends, then ask them, ask family members if they know what's going on, because they can explain it to you in a much better way, in a way that you may understand much more clearer. So yeah, but if that doesn't work, go to your teacher. For A-level psychology, my psychology teacher, I used to go to her all the time when I was struggling with something, or even not, just because like talking about a concept or an issue that you're struggling with can help so much in every aspect of your life. But when it comes to like studying and you can't understand a concept, your teachers really can help you. And if you go to them and ask them for help, or stay after school or during your breaks, then do use that time, because it will only benefit you, it will help you, and that's really all that matters. You can also try and get tutoring. There's probably a lot of students who offer tutoring at your school, or you can ask around. Also, if there's revision sessions at your school, do go to them. Seriously, I loved revision sessions at school. They were just so fun, but also quite informative and helpful. So do use that free time that the teachers put, like use the time that teachers allocate for you, because it will only benefit you. I kind of talked about textbooks already, but yeah, if you can get your hands on any textbook or workbook, that will really help you. And practice questions. If it's maths that you're struggling with, practice questions and past papers will really help you, because you're just practicing. And as long as you practice, the information is being stored in your long-term memory and you're reinforcing it. So yeah, do put the time in. This is kind of the next thing I want to talk about, is putting more time into those subjects that you struggle with, which is kind of like obvious, but if it's for a test, or if it's for your GCSEs or your exams or your A-levels, start early, especially if it's something that you struggle with a lot, because that way you're giving yourself more time to understand something and you're not like in a rush to learn this. I don't know, if you're planning your revision or something, do allocate more time than you think you will need for something that you are struggling with, because sometimes you're just sitting and you have no idea what's going on. So yeah, just put more time in, and you will eventually, I'm sure, understand whatever it is, because no one becomes an expert at everything straight away. We have to put time in to things that are important to us and things that we want to learn. Next piece of advice is to use every bit of material and resources that you can possibly find, which I kind of talked about this already, but this is focused more on your own resources. So make your own resources. I don't know, make a revision video, make a poster. That really helps me. Bright colours, post-it notes. If it's something you're struggling to remember, stick posters all over your room. Test yourself, make yourself little questions and tests, and do them in timed conditions, so that you're getting as much practice as you possibly can. And I don't know, like maybe flashcards don't work for maths and you've been using flashcards all this time. Try a poster or a post-it note, maybe that will work. You don't know until you try. So I just use every piece of resource that you can make. If you're making more resources, I feel like you're thinking more about it, what it is that you're struggling with, and you're spending more time on it. That might itself trigger you to remember something, or trigger you to, I don't know, understand it. And the last piece of advice, a mindset that I think is quite useful, and that is, if it's a subject that you honestly hate and just the sight of it makes you want to run away to Italy to live in the sun forever. Those were my thoughts in those lectures. If it's something like that, then just do remember it will eventually be done and over with. You just need to study so you can do this test, do this exam, and then you can forget about it. You can just be like, whatever, I'm never gonna have to think about this ever again, and that's the best feeling ever. I don't know, like, if you want to get an amazing grade, then this mindset can also help you. Just know that you're putting in this work and you will get that A, you'll get those amazing grades, and then you can just forget about it. Like, it may seem like, oh, but I've been studying the subject for a year, I'm bored of it already. That's true, that makes it more difficult. Do keep that in mind, that eventually you will be done with this exam and you'll just be moving on to greater things. Yeah, so that is all. That's all for this video. I hope that at least some of this advice is useful, and good luck studying a subject that you hate, because it's a lot of work and it sucks. Good luck in your studies, in your exams, and thank you for watching this video. And if you're new to this channel, then subscribe to see more informational videos on uni or GCSEs or A-levels. And do comment below any video requests that you may have. See you in my next video. Bye!